G'day guys, Phil Britton here from Martial Arts Business Success Podcast, and we've got Graham as always.
Hey guys, how are you all?
And we're here giving you guys great tips, tools and techniques on how you can get your school from surviving to thriving.
Now, today Phil, what we're going to do is I've had a couple of people asking these questions, and again from my personal experience recently, going around to our schools and identifying how do you run dynamic classes specifically for kids. Now we run, a multitude of different levels, but this is more around kids and keeping that retention, that enthusiasm in their classes. So first and foremost, what I've identified is following a plan. And what I mean by a plan is your class plans. There are plenty of great instructors that can do classes on the fly, but if you're looking to scale your business or again even step out of classes, class plans are vitally important. So Phil, just give me a bit of an insight into how we operate with class plans, but what are some of the things that are in there?
Look, for those guys who have class plans, well done. For those who don't, it's something that you got to get into and just do, because like we say it quite often, our analogy is like the recipe for baking a cake. And following a lesson plan is like following that recipe. You know that it's going to get you a certain level of results or success in your class. And the better the instructor, then you can elaborate on either side or insert certain drills or skills. But as Graham said, if you're going to scale your school, we want to make sure, like what we have, we've come into a point where, we're not in classes very much, and, you look at your retention and cancellations and you go, wonder what's going on. So you go back and check out what the guys are doing, and if they're following the lesson plans, then there's no argument. But if they're not, well, then we need to have a good hard look at the staff performance on following those lesson plans, because we know there are certain recipes for success.
Oh yeah, look, having a great class plan is one thing. Now you've got your skills and drills and whatnot in there, but how do we get around delivering that? And I use the phrase, and we use this in our instructor programs, is enthusiasm is caught, not taught. So how do you teach somebody? How do you share those tools on how to become more enthusiastic? And you'll notice that the way myself and Phil talk to you guys now, it is lively, it's punchy. The way that you deliver vocally has to not just be that monotone and you're falling asleep. You do need to be engaging and have that pitch that's in there, that enthusiasm with your voice. So again, highlighting in those areas, which is key.
I'll give you a quick little a hint and tool for the instructors out there that may have instructors that sort of struggle with their tonality. And because as Graham said, it's so important. It's caught, not taught. So as a lead instructor, you need to have your voice fluctuating high, low. You need to be quiet and reserved when you're delivering the message. You need to be loud and impactful when the drills are on. So it is really this way of teaching you how to fluctuate your voice and get the desired outcome, as Graham said. So as a tool, a teaching tool, what I'd suggest you do, it's quite fun, is count from 1 to however many you want, and get your students or your instructors to follow your hand with voice fluctuation and noise. So for example, if I was to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And look, they're just fun ways of in class or in your instructor training to get your guys really just changing their tonality and voice fluctuation, which if you can take that element of fun and teaching into your classes, you're going to find you're going to have much more impactful lessons.
Look, I couldn't agree more, mate. And I guess, there's that enthusiasm too, but how do we make sure that our students that are in that class are continually engaged, and also too making sure that we are praising the right students? So I know a technique that we use, and we teach this in our instructor courses, highlighting and spotlighting. And for those listening or even watching, you're probably wondering, what is that? So a spotlight is very much what it sounds like. Imagine there is just a spotlight on one student or a pair. So if you're looking to have the energy in the class lift, rather than point out or reprimand the kids that are doing the behavior or those negative behaviors, highlight the kids, and again, that spotlight on those kids who are really sort of standing out, who lead by example. So I know that for us in particular, if Phil was a student in the class and he was sitting up really straight, or again, if he was just doing a drill, that A+ standard, I would stop the class, guys, stop. Have a look at Phil do this drill. Phil, quick, go. And he would demonstrate 5 seconds, 10 seconds of that drill. Right, who thinks they can do it just like this? All right, back at it, go. And you'll find that by spotlighting that behavior, wow, it certainly does increase the energy in a class, makes it dynamic without the instructor having to, run 1,000,000 miles an hour doing that as well too. But what's highlighting? I know I just touched on spotlight, but what's highlight?
So the two areas, a spotlight is exactly what Graham said. It's putting a spotlight on one particular student who's doing the technique at the desired level of ability and enthusiasm, so people can model that behavior. A highlight is more highlighting an area. So maybe for example, you could highlight one half of the class. Look at all these advanced belts or these blue belts in this orange and blue belt class. Blue belts, let's highlight this whole area and see how they're performing. Orange belts, I really want you guys to try and pretend you're a blue belt, and if not, be better than these guys. Watch these guys do this, 1, 2, 3, and then get the guys up, then get them to try and perform at a high level, or at least equal level performance. So highlighting is more of an area, spotlight is more a specific person.
Look, I know that there's probably a ton of our listeners going, well, we do that. Well, sometimes you may think that you do that. Much like we have some great instructors who go, yeah, we know that, we do that. But when they look back at themselves in the mirror or again, review the classes, they may have missed a few of these key components. And they really are important aspects to make sure that, as you said, Phil, that recipe for a dynamic class, these things can't be missed out on. They seem simple, but sometimes the simple things are neglected and therefore the class is flat. I think you've got also too a key factor, and I know that most of the listeners will understand it, you've got to have fun with the kids. So how do you have fun, but also balance out that technique and making sure that we're still getting the desired good results? So how do we do that in our classes, Phil?
You just got to, at the end of the day, we want to teach martial arts, don't we? We want to teach martial arts. We want to teach skills. We've got requirements we've got to tick over. But we can pattern interrupt those things with games. And not just games for the sake of games, but martial arts related games or games and activities that relate to the skill or technique. And it's almost hiding it, and the kids are having so much fun in class, and in the back of your mind, you know that you're getting all these techniques that you need for tip testing for them to meet the requirement of that particular level. They're meeting that standard while having fun as well. So definitely with pattern interrupts or inserting fun into drills, and you can do that in a variety way in classes. Look, there's plenty of things where you can just mix things up and go, well, this particular skill of doing boxing combination number 2 in our style, we have the left-right punch as number 2. So maybe we want to sharpen that up, get it done nice and fast. So we might have one person with a kick shield, the other one with a foam noodle, fanning it up and down, and the other person's got to go in nice and quick. Look, if you're listening, you probably aren't getting a good picture, but if you're watching this podcast, you might get a bit of an action over here. So just to remind people, this isn't just an audio, we have video on our podcast as well. But yeah, so just little ways. The technique is combo 2. We want to sharpen that up. So what activity or fun game can we do to have the kids enjoying that, but also get the desired outcome of the technique?
Wow, so we really have covered quite a few things to have an awesome class. And I know that for plenty of people that are listening again, they're probably ticking all the boxes. There's a couple of people that may go, ooh, geez, I neglected that. So again, we've got a big one, following our class plan. We've got some podcasts we discuss on how to create them if you don't already have them. And if you do, make sure that your team is continually following them and review to make sure the content is current and exciting. Enthusiasm, caught, not taught. That was an easy one that we sort of mentioned, but how do we teach that? Again, a solid instructor program is probably the starting point. There are some people naturally gifted in that level of energy required, but if you want to scale your business or you want to grow as a dynamic team, it's important to have a structured program to develop that. The same comes down to that highlighting the spotlighting techniques. They're taught in an instructor program, and hopefully you guys do have one in place in your school. Or if you don't, I would highly recommend you looking to implement something like that, just so you can continue to grow and continue to make sure that those classes are, final thing, fun and enjoyable. Yeah. So was there anything else, Phil, that you think that, to run a dynamic kids class, again, this is just on kids, what are some of the key factors, or have we ticked them all?
Look, I definitely think we could add in a little bit of friendly competition in classes. Not in every class, but definitely friendly competition where maybe you have line drills and each line is competing against the other. I mean, what kid doesn't want to win a race, a running race, or some sort of competition? Everyone loves winning. And it's up to the head instructor to make sure that one team's not dominating all the time, and that, you know, we're outlining that, you know, it's okay to come second, third, fourth, or whatever. So you can do line drill competitions, you can do circle drill competitions, you can do half the room one side, half the room the other, facing each other. So there's all different ways that we can have competitions in class as well. But I think at the end of the day, you've also got to remember that the parents are the ones that are paying for the child to come, if we're talking about children's classes. And yes, we want to make dynamic classes so the children are having fun, but we want to make sure that we reiterate the life lessons and character development skills, so it doesn't just look like fun. And we quite often do this where we might have the mat chat or the message of the month, or if we're, you know, playing the game that everyone plays at martial arts, Monster Dodge or Dodgeball, that we coming over towards where the parents are and explain the reasons behind this drill to the parent. Again, it's just getting that congruency of why we're doing it, sharing that message with the parent so they go, I understand, and that's why I'm paying this amount of money to be a member at your school.
Great. Well, Phil, I know that we always have a great little offer for our listeners. And I know that for some of you guys who are listening, we're talking about, where to find some of this information. You may already have it, but in the TEMA modules, okay, and that is both our silver and our gold modules, we have all this stuff done for you. So it's a really easy way to plug in and play. So again, team, you know, our goal here at TEMA is to give great content, but if you're looking to supercharge yourself and get to those goals a whole lot quicker, you know, we're here to assist and help you guys as much as we possibly can. What do we got for our listeners, mate, in regards to getting them on board?
Yeah, look, just reiterating what Graham said, you know, I think what we're trying to do is give you the what, but our online training and our coaching is the how. You know, we can't just spend hours and hours giving you the how, because it might not make sense to you. But online is all the how, and that offer there is $99 a month, and you get access to our silver level and gold level, and it's got all that nitty gritty stuff, all the how stuff on how to build, grow, and monetize your martial arts business.
Awesome.
The other tip that I probably would do, if you're one of those people who are listening or watching going, yeah, we're doing that, yeah, I'm doing that, yeah, my instructors are fine, is get out the video camera. If you get out the video camera and record yourself, record your instructors. You know, we do this regularly because you don't know what you don't know unless you're watching it on camera, basically, caught on camera. We've all seen those shows. They don't think they're doing anything wrong until they're caught on camera and see it. So do it to yourself. Like, check you out first. Like, get yourself recording. I know you'll know it's being recorded, so you'll be on your A game. But at any stage, you can try and record and then come back later and view yourself teaching or your instructors teaching. It's going to be a very powerful teaching tool. Them go, oh, look, you're saying all those ums and ahs too much, or you're hovering around this area of the floor, or you're only being at the front, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. So I think that's been a really good tip for us as well.
Always. Look, I think we've summarised it there, mate. You talked about the hows, and we'll dig into that sort of stuff on a little bit later, or again, engage with us. At least this is a checkpoint for you to tick off what areas that you're doing well. Review constantly, but again, also to team, if you need any assistance, don't forget you can email us at admin@tema.com.au. We're always happy to help and answer as much as we can. But till next time, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, and all that sort of stuff. And we can't wait to get back and give you guys some more content. Don't forget our tagline, guys, because it's important. It's why we created this. It's to believe in yourself, begin the journey, and become the business and the person of your dreams. We'll see you next time, gang. Ciao.
Innovating martial arts industry.